What up, Joe?
What up, man?
Dude, it's a stressful day in the Jimenez household, man.
Got a whole bunch of stuff going on today.
Yeah, dude, I've been moving. Kind of get into that a little bit. Just just throwing stuff away, man. Throwing stuff away. Poor garbage man today.
Jeez. You should have seen. You should look on the website to see if the bulky item pickup's going to be happening.
Yeah,
I think it is soon because I got stuff I got to get rid of. What's up, Sam Salinas, Matt Gomez? What's going on? Had a busy weekend, man. A lot of things I had to get done. Traffic over here off of 1604, man. Culebra area. It's been horrible, man. Even over there, like going towards La Cantera. Then on Friday, I had to go do some stuff in the downtown area for work. I had to go across town to the airport. Then I had to go over there by the downtown area. Man, coming back on 90, you know how we come back on 90 to 151?
Yeah.
It was like down to one lane. They were doing construction. I had to go the complete opposite way. I had to come down Southwest Military, down my old haunts.
Yeah.
You know, and just come straight down Military all the way back to 90 to get on Marbach again. I mean, it was just brutal, dude. I spent most of the day driving.
Dude, the thing that I've been worried about today, my work IT is all jacked up. So I'm basically out of business until my email system is back up and running.
Jeez.
Joe, I call IT, I get a call back. You know it's coming from a different country, right? The accent is so freaking thick, man. I have no idea what they're saying.
Oh, my.
And I'm pretty good about all that.
Yeah, man, the traffic around town's been brutal, man. I can only imagine if this crap continues, what it's going to be like when Fiesta kicks in, the Final Four. It's going to be horrible, man.
Welcome to another episode of the Area 210 podcast with Mike Jimenez and Joe Garcia. Make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Join the discussion as we broadcast to you live from beautiful West San Antonio. And remember to tip your host as it helps the show grow.
What's up, San Antonio? What's going on, South Texas? This is the Area 210 podcast coming at you. We're on the west side of San Antonio. My name's Mike Jimenez. That's Joe Garcia. Lots to get into today. Spurs, OKC Thunder last night. Spurs were on fire in the first half. Got super cold down the stretch. Things got heated. Tempers flared. Champagne ejected. Lou Dort, Kendrick Williams ejected too. Sohan with a technical foul. Lots went on during that game. We're going to get into it. Did we like the fire? What did we take away from this game? Is the takeaway that the Spurs showed some fire? Is the takeaway that the Spurs have some dog in them when it comes to Castle, when it comes to Sohan? Or was the takeaway that we see Jalen Williams play and think to ourselves, man, we could have had him. We could have had him, but we drafted Sohan instead. Is that what we're getting into today? But lots to get into today. Oscars were last night. Who gives a crap, man?
It's boring, bro. So boring, man.
Yeah.
Conan O'Brien. The dude's not funny, man.
You know, Conan had his time in the sun a long time ago.
Yeah,
Back in the late 90s, I remember watching Conan O'Brien when I was at Southwest Texas State University. My friends would all get together to watch Conan because we didn't like Leno, and Letterman had already gotten old. But Conan was the thing. But that was like 30 years ago, man. That was almost 30 years ago.
The brothers aged like milk, dude, and out in the sun, man.
Yeah.
It's bad. Same thing with Adam Sandler. They had him at the Oscars doing his same old bit again. It's like they need to update the material,
just
man.
Move on. Well, we've seen about the Grammys and the Oscars, and this is not old man talk right here.
Yeah.
Because I'm a big believer in always being young, right? We've seen these two shows jump the shark, right? They have. Now, the Grammys were fine when Kendrick Lamar was winning for Not Like Us and all that stuff. That's great. But everything else, Beyonce winning Country Album of the Year.
That was stupid.
Bull crap.
Dude.
You know, the thing about it is, Joe, back in the day, the movies that would win Oscars were movies that people actually watched. Am I going to watch any of these movies? No, man. They might pop up on Hulu and I might stumble upon
You're
it.
not gonna watch The Substance. Was it that Annan or whatever?
Dude, I have never seen an Adrian Brody movie in my entire life, and he's allegedly one of the best actors around.
What was it called? His movie?
Oh, I don't know, man. See, that's the thing.
What was this movie called?
And that is the disconnect between Hollywood and regular people, is that no one gives a crap anymore about what they have to say, left or right. And you look at it, I mean, how many people are like, dude, I gotta go to the flicks to go watch the Brutalist. I gotta watch Honora. What the hell's Honora?
Yeah.
What the hell is a
fuck
Brutalist?
is that?
This is the Bijou movies. Remember back in the day, the Bijou over at Crossroads?
Yeah.
Wonderland of
Where's
America?
that at? Gone.
Gone, right? Because no one wants to watch any of this crap. A Complete Unknown, the movie about Bob Dylan. That's a movie that people did see. People did watch Dune Part 2.
Yeah.
People saw Wicked. But all the other movies, Emilia Perez. ¿Cómo que? What? Who watched Emilia Perez?
I didn't watch it, dude.
Conclave. The hell are you talking about? I've never seen any of these movies at the actual theater. By the way, Diane Warren. Did you see that story about Diane Warren?
No.
Diane Warren is one of the greatest musicians of all time, singer-songwriters of all time. She lost her 16th straight Oscars nomination for Best Song. Poor Diane Warren. You might know that song, Don't Want to Miss a Thing by Aerosmith back in the day.
God.
She wrote that song. Funny thing about that, though, Aerosmith wrote all their songs except one, right? They had no number one hits except for the one that they didn't write.
Yeah. You know what's funny? Adrian Brody's out there doing his exception speech, right? Oh, I'm glad to be the actor of the year, whatever, right? And I was telling the kids there right when we're watching this, I'm like, you know what? I'm never gonna forget one of his most iconic films, and they're like, which one is that? King Kong.
Now, did you see the SAG Awards last week leading up to this? Timothy Chalamet for A Complete Unknown, the Bob Dylan retrospective. I like Chalamet. He came out on ESPN a couple of weeks ago.
It was a yellow tux, Mike.
Well, okay, but here's the thing. He's a sports fan.
Yeah.
Right? So you look at him and you think artsy guy, probably not into it. He is a sports fan. Joe, did you see his speech at the SAG Awards last week?
No.
Okay. Some people were put off by it, but I liked it. He got the award, and instead of just like saying, "Oh, I want to thank all the people that are here and all that stuff, all the fellow nominees," he says that was putting him on the road to greatness. He goes, "I see you guys as competitors." He goes, "I want to be Michael Jordan in this bitch. Yeah. I want to be Michael Jordan. I want to be Tom Brady. I want to be all of that. You are all my competition. I want to rack up as many awards as possible to show that I'm one of the best." And people thought that was classless.
Yeah.
Or tacky. I'm like, dude, the guy says he's coming to play. He even said future movies, future years, I'm here to play.
Yeah.
What do you think about a young man going out there in his 20s saying, I'm going to be one of the all-time greats. Just watch. This is not the last award I'm going to win.
Yeah.
What do you think about someone who going up there and saying that as their speech, as opposed to doing something political or doing something where he's just thanking the Academy? He was like, no, damn straight I deserve this award.
Yeah. No, I mean, sometimes you got to let your nuts hang, right? You go out there and he just let his nuts hang on the table, you know? He just put a word out to everybody.
He did. Sam Salita saying Chalamet was wearing a Dumb and Dumber tux.
He was. That yellow tux. That's what it reminded me of, man.
That is so funny. I had not seen that, man. Do we have to look this up?
Yeah, you can.
Is this what we have to look up? Timothy Chalamet. Let me see here. Let's see what this tuxedo looked like. Was it? Oh, there you go. There you go.
There it is, man.
Let's see here. You know what? Here's the thing, man. He drops knowledge on ESPN Game Day, on College Game Day. He was rattling off stats. He was rattling off teams. The guy is like really big into sports. He's one of us.
He's
Joe.
A Renaissance man.
I mean, like, okay, we see this about Matthew McConaughey, right? Matthew McConaughey, he's a sports fan. He's a UT guy, right?
Yeah.
But out of all the people in Hollywood right now, where you think to yourself, who would you want to watch a baseball game with, a football game with, a basketball game with? Wouldn't Chalamet be one of those guys?
Yeah, sure. Why not, man? Kid looks legit.
Okay, we got to talk about the awfulness that is Ariana Grande.
bro.
She gonna die in the next year and a half, dude. That is an anorexic chick, man.
She's Ozempic, bro.
I don't know what it
that
is,
Ozempic, man.
I don't know what it is. That is so gross. Seeing the fashion. Demi Moore. Demi Moore is 60 years old.
Still look good, bro.
She's always been beautiful. Zoe Saldana, who won one of the awards as well. This lady, I forgot her name. She won Best Actress. But who cares about the Oscars? Who really cares about the Oscars? But the Chalamet role that he has right here from A Complete Unknown. It was a good movie, dude.
Yeah.
It was a good movie. Now, it wasn't as good as, say, the Johnny Cash movie with Joaquin Phoenix, Walk the Line.
Oh, yeah.
That was better. The Chalamet movie, the Bob Dylan movie, was better than the Queen one, which is weird because Rami Malek won Best Actor for that movie for Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, they're asking if Taylor's still doing the celebrity death watch. If so, draft Grande, Mike. I don't think he's doing that anymore.
He's
They
not, but we
retired
probably
that.
should.
Yeah.
We probably should. Celebrity death pool. I mean, it's sad. I won one year. Not Taylor's. I won the San Antonio local media one back in the day. Yeah. People got mad because I picked John Paul II.
Oh, yeah.
And when the Pope died, I was like, "Ooh, I got points."
You came in, yeah, baby.
See, but there's some weird ones out there because here's the thing: when I picked them, I wasn't doing waiver pickups. See, when you do the death pool and the waiver pickup is like, oh, somebody's in the hospital and in critical condition, that doesn't count.
I'm gonna
man.
drop this dude and pick up this brother on death's door. No,
yeah,
man.
I mean, if you're already in the hospital, that doesn't count. It needs to be finding, Scott Weiland of STP in the back of a bus, with a heroin overdose. That's what you need. You need to have, one of those types of deaths out there.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's more.
And you know what? Speaking of the Pope, they have that other Pope who's on not doing so well, man.
Well, I mean, that's what happens. You get popes that are like 90 years old, man. What do you expect? It's just. I mean,
You're gonna say good. You're Mike.
Come on.
Mike.
I didn't say good. I'm just saying.
But I know you. You probably go. The Pope died. Good. Who cares?
They're just all old men
Like,
who are stuck in. Some people are stuck in the 50s and 60s. They're stuck in the 1400s, man. It is crazy. Let's talk about last night's game. So the Spurs had an interesting weekend, to say the least. They pulled off an upset, right? They played back-to-back games. They pulled off an upset. They beat the Grizzlies 130-128. De'Aaron Fox hit a game winner to get that victory against the Grizzlies, one of the better teams in the Western Conference. Spurs pulled off an upset. So that's amazing right there, right? Next game, Spurs played last night. It was De'Aaron Fox's first game the Frost Bank Center, right? Technically, he had a home game in Austin, but his first time the Spurs fans in San Antonio got to see him at the Frost. And it was an exciting game the first half. The first half, it was just bang, 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 bang. I mean, the score was 72-77. Spurs were up 77-72 at halftime. Spurs with a team record for most three-point attempts made in a half. I believe the number was like 16.
16. I was going.
They had 16 in the first half.
Little golf clap there.
Okay, in the second half, they only had 2, and it was in all the last 2 minutes of the game. So they went all 12 minutes of the third quarter and the first 10 minutes of the fourth quarter without making one. And the Spurs were still hanging in tight. And then they brought in Chris Paul. I hate to say it, Joe. Booty crumbs. Joe,
No.
the wheels fell off when they went super small ball. And it's so sad.
What happened? You missing
Chris
Trey
Paul.
Jones? Don't tell me you're missing Trey Jones now.
Chris Paul yesterday, 28 minutes played, shot 2 attempts, both of them 3-pointers. He made both of them. So in 28 minutes, he had 6 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds. Why are you out there? Meantime, our guy, Stephon Castle, my man, where have you been? Back-to-back good games, 12 of 21 shooting, knocked down 4 3-pointers. Our guy with 32 points, Joe. 8 rebounds on top of it, 3 assists. He was a man on fire yesterday. It's nice seeing Stephon Castle get some run. Spurs lost that game. The Thunder, it's funny, I was watching this game with Chica.
Yeah.
We're laying in bed watching this game. And what I liked about it was she used the word we when talking about the Spurs. Okay. Some impressions from her. A couple of things. She loves some of the Spurs names. I'm gonna give you the three. I'm gonna give you the names that she loves. She
Champagne.
says the Spurs have some really good names. She likes Julian Champagny.
Mm,
You know, she thinks that if she married him, she'd be Francesca Champagny.
yeah.
And she thinks it would be great.
What does Fernandez say? Popping bottles.
Popping
What he calls
bottles?
him when he's doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She likes the name Bismack Biombo. She likes the name De'Aaron Fox. And she likes the name Sohan. So let's talk about this, Joe. Last night's game. It's not any surprise that the Thunder won this game.
Nah, not at all.
But they did put up a season high 146 points. Spurs had no chance of stopping this team. And this is a Thunder team that more than likely will have the 7th or 8th pick in the draft ahead of the Spurs this year. This team is getting better and better. Right now, the Thunder have a 60% chance of having a lottery pick somewhere between 7 and 9. 60% chance. They also have a chance of having up to 3 first-rounders this year, all in the top 20. This team is young. They're hungry. They're getting stronger and stronger. I don't care how much of a unicorn Wemby is, and if Wemby becomes a generational talent, becomes Giannis, becomes Jokic, whatever, it's still not enough, because you look at this OKC Thunder team with Jalen Williams and Hartenstein and SGA and Dort and Wallace and Jalen Williams. Which Jalen Williams are you talking about, right?
Look, somebody agrees with you, Mike, here in the chat. SR 2001 from YouTube. CP3 is CP trash.
He is. He's gotten there. He's gotten to be that.
Look at Hanover Fist. Spurs needs to be investigated for point shaving in the third every game. You know, that's the thing with this team, Mike. They come out and they might look okay in the first, second quarter, might even be down only by a couple points, right? And then they come up in the third quarter and absolutely wet the bed, dude. It happens every time without fail. The only good thing that they did in the third quarter was that dust up that happened near the end with Champagny and that other brother from OKC. Forgot his name, where they had a little dust up there.
Yeah.
Then Sohan got involved,
Yeah.
Came in there looking like he wanted to fight the whole team. I'm like, you know what? I like Sohan. He got a little dog in him, dude. At least he did something.
So let's talk about a couple of things, man. Which one do you want to get into? The fact that it was hurtful watching Jalen Williams go off for a career high yesterday. Jalen Williams of the OKC Thunder.
There's the dust up right
15 to 24. So he had the dust up there. Okay, so Champagny grabs the ball, has the ball, and he does an elbow arm swivel, right?
Yeah.
I don't think he even made contact with that player.
No.
In fact, the player looked like he was flopping and then went after Champagny. No contact was made. I think Champagny was being thrown out just simply to be where they're trying to make it fair.
I guess because they got into it, started pushing each other back and forth. Champagny picked up his fist like he was going to do something. It was a whole lot about nothing.
The benches didn't necessarily clear, but then Champagny goes out there and, like you said, kind of defends himself. Now, here's the thing. That movement that he made, we see it time and time again in the NBA, right?
Yeah.
LeBron James famously does that move all the time. But LeBron James is LeBron James. Julian Champagny is not him. And that is actually an illegal move, okay? Because whenever you have your elbows out, you have to swivel with them. He didn't do that. He did it just all arm.
Yeah.
When you do it all arm, that's an intentional foul if you make contact, right? Questionable as to whether or not contact was made on that whole play. But if we show the dust up, Joe, you see the benches didn't necessarily clear, but you see, you saw Lou Dort and you saw Champagny kind of get into it. You saw Jeremy Sohan go in there, had a little bit of dog in him. Were you excited to see Sohan get in the mix? He's done this before with Dylan Brooks. Were you excited about that?
I mean, I was excited that they did something. We're going to go ahead and show. Let's see if we can show it. This is the move you were talking about. So Champagny's making that move. Didn't even touch the brother.
Let's go full screen on that.
And look, you can see.
And this is courtesy of
We'll show it again. We'll show it again.
So this move right here.
He didn't do nothing.
Yeah, I don't even think that's an illegal move. I think that's a perfectly legal move. But then when you see it again in slow motion, it's like the reaction seemed to be off.
Yeah.
I don't even think contact was made.
Yeah. So, and got some dog in him. He wants all that smoke right now. He's like, come on, give it to me. It was a lot about nothing, man. They should have just probably called a double technical and went about the day.
Well,
You
I
know?
think the reason why they had to do a T was because of the reaction that was made. I think it was also because of the fact that Sohan went up there. I'm surprised Sohan didn't get thrown out. Sohan just got a technical foul, so you had 2 players from the Thunder get ejected, and you got Sohan, who was allowed to play, and he just allowed to say, "I'm sorry."
I'm sorry. I mean, he's going to get fined no matter what, but I mean, still going to get him in the pocketbook.
So Kenrick Williams, Lou Dort ejected for the Thunder. Champagny, wonder Champagny what he's going to get when it comes to a fine of some sort. Again, there was a little bit of a delay on there, man. But Joe, 41 points last night from Jalen Williams. This is a player that the Spurs passed on to get Jeremy Sohan. This is what it comes to, Joe, when it comes to the teams being built, that are being developed. Sohan is a good piece. Jalen Williams is an all-star. Jeremy Sohan will never be an all-star. So we look at this, Joe, and I hate the fact that I hear this. Well, Jimenez, if we would have gotten Jalen Williams instead of Sohan, if we would have gotten Alperen Şengün instead of Primo, we would never have gotten Victor Wembanyama. So basically you're saying that because of someone else's incompetence and the luck that they got, 14% chance of getting Victor Wembanyama, that's the sign of good GM work.
It's luck, man. The luck of the balls. You know, the lottery balls fell.
It was
the Spurs.
It was
favor.
the luck of the Spurs. We could have had Amen or Osar Thompson on this team. Amen's doing pretty well, but we could have had Osar, who's had issues.
Yeah,
right, dude. It's frustrating because you look at Oklahoma City. We're not going to make a comeback against them.
No,
they are the class of the conference, and the question becomes: can we become a respectable team?
You know who
can
else
we be
is
a 500
class?
team? Can we be a 50-win team?
You know who else is moving up the ladder here?
Detroit
too?
Pistons, man.
Not only Detroit Pistons, but you look, lo and behold, what's going on over here in the Western Conference, man. The Lakers are now number 2, right behind OKC. Lakers have been on the up ever since they got Luka.
They have been.
I mean, they're looking really good right now.
Well, you know, you get 2 of the top 10 players in the league together, something's going to happen. You know, and the Lakers, you know, Luka coming off an injury, Luka coming off, you know, dazed and confused about how things were when he got let go. They're 10.5 games behind Oklahoma City. They're not going to catch them, right?
Yeah.
But right now, sitting as the 2 seed in the Western Conference,
good.
won 6 in a row, 8 of the last 10.
You know what? This is good for them.
I don't think the Lakers have, even though you have Luka,
and
you have LeBron, and Luka can go off for 40 points.
Yeah.
And LeBron can be LeBron, playoff LeBron.
They're not.
It is not enough, not deep enough to go after Oklahoma City. That Oklahoma City team, who, by the way, doesn't have Chet Holmgren.
Yeah, he's out.
He's out with injury. You add Chet Holmgren to the mix. You had the fact that they have up to 3 first-rounders this year. A very good chance, a 60% chance of being a top team, top 7 pick in the draft, because they have Philadelphia's pick, and Philadelphia's pick is top 6 protected. What did Philadelphia do? They shut down Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
Why did they shut down Joel Embiid? It's because they want to keep their pick.
Yeah, and not only that, but you're probably going to wind up trading him away because you know what his name's going to be next season, bro. It's going to be gone.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to go, dude. He's damaged goods, man. They got to just hit the reset button over there in Philly.
Philadelphia yesterday. Okay, look at this. I didn't even see this. If you go to Tankathon, Philadelphia won their first game in 9 attempts yesterday. Guess what happened, Joe?
No.
It is now in the hands of the Oklahoma City Thunder as of right now. If the season was to end right now and things were to go to form, that pick is top 6 protected. Guess what? Brooklyn has lost 4 in a row. Philadelphia is now the 7th worst team in the NBA. Unless Philadelphia gets into the top 4, Oklahoma City gets that pick at number 7. And look, OKC also having the pick at number 16 and number 18 right now.
Yeah, we do got an
Miami
incoming
and the Clippers.
super chat.
$20 super chat.
Let's go ahead and read that by the Drew Show. Thank you, Drew. Appreciate
Drew,
you.
Drew, I will let you know, man. I'm going to dissect everything that you sent me this past weekend.
Yeah, he sent a lot.
He sent a lot. Okay, and it was hard. I'm in the middle of a move, so it's a little bit going on. So I will address it. He says, "quote There's no thing about this team other than the palace intrigue. The organization is rudderless until Pop steps aside, is forced out, or dies. Everyone else is just superfluous and nonsense, just like pining for Alperin. Okay. You know, the corollaries, the between the Spurs and the Dallas Cowboys right now is pretty close, Joe. It's pretty close. I mean, Cowboy fans don't think that they're going to be relevant until when?
Yeah.
Until Jerry leaves or Jerry dies.
Look at Justin R says Embiid's contract is untradeable. How many untradeable contracts have we had in the league? And what happens? They wind up saying, you know what? I'm going to waive the trade clause because I want out. I bet you that's going to happen.
Yeah, but he might be right though, Joe, because I'm looking at the contract. 51 million. Who wants 51 million from Joel Embiid? I know he was an MVP.
Somebody will.
51 million. Now he does have a player option. Well, actually, you know what? You look at it, Joe. It's 35% of the cap.
Yeah.
Would a team want to take that on? He's under contract until 2028. He's got a player option in 2029, but that player option, Joe, would be 69 million that year for Joel Embiid, who is oftentimes hurt.
Look, we got another $10 incoming super chat here. This one's from Taco Tuesday, man. And look what he says. Thanks for the donation. We appreciate you.
Yeah,
man.
we do.
He says, Luka is the most overrated player ever. He might be the best offensive player in the Lakers, but he is incompetent on defense. And the last time I checked, defense is half the game.
Well, I'm going to correct you on that one, Taco Tuesday, although we do appreciate the $10 super chat. Is defense really half the game? Look at the Oklahoma City Thunder yesterday. How many points did Oklahoma City give up to the Spurs?
132.
132, and they kicked our ass.
Neither team was playing defense. Let's be honest. When you're scoring that much, come on.
They kicked our ass.
Yeah. You know how they kicked the Spurs' ass? They kicked the Spurs' ass by being a little bit more physical. It's the physicality of things, the way the coaches like to say, right? I mean, at the end of the day, you look and see what actually transpired here, what was going on, what happened. Well, at the end of the day, Thunder had more second and third chance opportunities than the Spurs because they out-rebounded the Spurs by 10 rebounds, 45 compared to the Spurs 35.
Joe, we shot 56%, 42% from three, 75% from the free throw line, only had 12 turnovers and lost by 14.
Couldn't get it done, man.
Lost by 14. It's rebounding. It's lack of rebounding the Spurs have. And then, you know, I mean, we have to take something from this, right? What are we going to take from this, Joe? Look at this team that Oklahoma City has, right? Jalen Williams, Hartenstein, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Dort, Cason Wallace, Dylan Jones, Dang. You look at this whole team, and then you look at the Spurs team. The only players on the Spurs team that would get run on that roster, Joe, are De'Aaron Fox, Castle, and Wemby. That's all we got. That's all we got. De'Aaron Fox, Castle, Wemby. I do appreciate Jeremy Sohan going to his role. Only one three-point attempt yesterday. Actually, he had 2 3-point attempts yesterday. One the game before. You want to take 1 or 2 a game? I'm fine with that. So I'm really not going to bitch and complain about Sohan because Sohan is at least going back to what he can do well. Shot 7 of 9. Right? 4 rebounds. Not really attacking the glass very much, but 7 of 9. Okay, he's getting layups. He's getting putbacks. He's staying 2 feet away from the rim. That's what we want to see, dude. We want to see that. But my God, the Spurs have whiffed on this draft, dude. Şengün, all-star. Hey, Joe. This is where I pat myself on the back. Back in San Antonio Sports Star days. When the Spurs drafted Primo, who was I banging the drum for? Şengün. Did Şengün make the All-Star team this year? I believe he did. And you know what? People are going to be like, Jimenez, you don't know ball, right? Don't you love that? Jimenez don't know ball?
You get cooked every day because of all your comments, dude. You know Jeff's going to be watching this.
Okay, so I'm on Twitter. I'm on Twitter right now, right? Talking about Şengün in 2021, dude. I'm talking about Şengün the entire time. If I had to rank who I wanted, Şengün number 1. right? So when they got Josh Primo and people are like, well, you never really said that you like Şengün. Same way that I said what, Joe? I wanted who? I wanted Jalen Williams.
Yeah.
Who the Spurs get? Jeremy Sohan. Who else did I say? I wanted the Spurs to get Stephon Castle. They got Castle. So it's kind of funny, Joe. People are like, oh, you're just an armchair GM. I am, but guess what?
Isn't everybody else?
It's everybody else.
Yeah.
And I tend to be right more often than I am wrong. But people will always like latch themselves on to like, the 2 or 3 comments I made that were wrong. Great. I'm more, remember, we're team we hooping, man. We got to get in the play-in tournament. No, you tank for Wemby.
You know what? Even if the Spurs did have Wemby, you know what? We hooping is out the door because this damn team still wouldn't have made the play-in. They would have won maybe a handful of games more than what they're projected. They were projected to win 35 to 38 games, right? That's what the Vegas odd makers said before the Fox trade. After the Fox trade, I'd give them at least 3 or 4 more games. That would put them somewhere in the neighborhood around 42, 43. That ain't enough, man.
I know, dude. It's crazy. Let's show some love to Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5 for your daily Spurs content.
Locked On Spurs is your daily Spurs podcast, hosted by Jeff Garcia, the lead Spurs writer for Ken's 5 San Antonio. Jeff has a healthy plethora of guests all the time on the Locked On Spurs podcast. You can also follow Jeff on Threads at Jeff G Ken's 5 SA. You can also follow Jeff on Twitter at Jeff G Spurs Zone. So make sure you go ahead and give Jeff a follow not only on Threads and Twitter, but also on YouTube at youtube.com/@Locked On Spurs. This is where you're going to be able to find the replay of the Locked On Spurs podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share.
That's right. Daily Spurs content. I subscribe on YouTube. I subscribe on Spotify. You should too. Joe, I mean, am I wrong in saying that I look at this Oklahoma City Thunder team and think to myself, yeah, we can get better and all, but we're not going to catch up to these guys unless Castle becomes like SGA, unless Wemby becomes like all world, unless Sohan develops more than just a putback game. What am I missing here, Joe?
I don't know. I mean, he has blue hair or green hair or whatever, they name him the second coming of Dennis Rodman. I'm like, they're totally different players, Rodman wasn't good at shooting either, just like Sohan.
Yeah.
But he would go out there and get the rebounds and all that stuff, wreak havoc in there. I get it, man. And look, at the end of the day, Sohan is playing more of his natural position now. He's not calling on to be point guard or go out there and do something stupid like be an undersized center. He's coming off the bench. He's more in his natural position. He's playing better ball. Great. Y'all figured it out, but what are you going to do with the rest of the team? They can't shoot.
Now,
this team can't shoot.
We can't shoot. We can't rebound, right? Jeff Garcia has on his Twitter right now at Jeff G Spurs Zone. So can also be found on Kens5.com. Interviews with Mitch Johnson, De'Aaron Fox, and Stephon Castle. What they had to say after the Spurs loss to the Thunder, 146-132. He also has video of a San Antonio police officer. Let's check this out, Joe.
Yeah.
Does that.
It's a San Antonio police officer singing right before a national NASCAR event. Let's see.
That Star Spangled Banner yet wave o'er the land of the free
I like when the planes come in.
and the home of the brave.
We're gonna figure this out. How does she get that gig?
I don't know. She did pretty
Very
good, though, man.
nice.
She got some pipes.
She does, man. Very nice. Very nice. Joe, we still don't know who the concert's going to be downtown for the Final Four, but you would figure we're going to find out this week, right?
Yeah, we got another incoming super
$5
chat.
They missed
$5
us, Joe. We were missed.
Yes, man.
Says,
Thanks,
this is Tony Arnalles saying that Fox needs to get his finger surgery done now. Spurs will lose more games and just call it a night till next season and focus on the draft.
This is a discussion that I had last night with my good friend, one of my best friends, Jonas Clark,
Yeah.
And me and Jonas, we get into like heated discussions like you and Pledger do when you're talking sports. And I was telling Jonas about this yesterday, and I said, Fox needs to have surgery on his fingers, right? I don't know if he has some type of ligament damage or something going on there. He has him taped. You can tell he's in discomfort and pain. He's playing through it, though. Great for him. But at some point, I think the Spurs have something like 26 games in the season, something like that left.
Mm-hmm.
And what's going to happen is that you have to start thinking about next season, right? With Fox,
You
how long is it
shut
going to
down.
take? How long is it going to take for him to rehab and for him to be 100% once you go ahead and start training camp again? You want him there for that. You want him to get his reps in with Wemby and the rest of the team. I say that they're going to probably put him out there for maybe 8 more or 10 more games, shut him down for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I'd say March, St. Patty's Day.
Yeah.
March 17th.
He's done, dude.
He's done.
Yeah.
Looking at the tankathon right now, the lineup right now as far as the draft is concerned. Right now, the Spurs have the 9th and 11th best odds to win Cooper Flag. So what does this mean, Joe? It means that as of right now, the Spurs have a 30% chance of being in the top 4, a 3 in 10 chance of one of the picks being in the top 4, 1, 2, 3, or 4. The Spurs have a 6.5% chance of having the number 1 overall pick in Cooper Flag. We had a 14% chance of winning Wemby, a 6.5% chance now of getting Cooper Flag. And it doesn't look like the Spurs are going to leapfrog a lot of these teams because Chicago is playing poorly. Are we going to catch up, if you will, to Chicago when it comes to it all?
Nah.
The whole thing about Portland playing well right now. Portland's won 5 of the last 10 games. Portland might leapfrog Atlanta, and that pick from Atlanta might come to the Spurs at number 10 instead, which would make it even better for the Spurs. The Spurs would then have a 34% chance of getting into the top 4, then a 7.5% chance of getting the number 1 overall pick. It's all about the ping pong balls, Joe. It's all about the ping pong balls. But we take a look at it. The interesting thing about the draft right now is that half the players or half the picks belong to different teams. Philadelphia's belongs to Oklahoma City. Atlanta's belongs to the Spurs. Phoenix belongs to Houston's. Sacramento belongs to Atlanta. Miami's belongs to OKC. Minnesota to Utah. The Clippers to Utah. Golden State to Miami. Detroit belongs to Minnesota. Milwaukee belongs to Brooklyn. Houston belongs to Brooklyn. Memphis belongs to Washington. You keep going down and down the line, Joe. No one has their pick anymore. So the idea that the Spurs own their picks for the future years and Oklahoma City owns their picks for the future years is like a novel concept. Everyone else has flipped their picks for one reason or another. It's crazy.
Tony Hernandez is still sore that I compare the Spurs to the Cowboys.
It's true.
He says, say you're sorry, Joe. Take it back. Just because it upsets you, Tony, never. It's fun, man.
Drew Show saying no rudder on the ship. You keep complaining about getting a replacement center, a backup center, not getting shooters all day long. It doesn't change when you don't have a rudder. And I 100% agree.
There ain't no shooters on this team. They can't shoot a consistent 3-point shot. What do you have to do in this league to win, Mike?
You got to shoot threes and play a little bit of D.
What can the Spurs do? Can they do either one?
Yeah, attack the basket.
They can't do either one of those consistently.
Well, Stephon Castle yesterday looked very good.
Oh, man, he did.
Stephon Castle looks like the truth, man. Like he could play for that OKC
there he is.
team.
Look at his stats, dude. This is from Poly Market Sports that I follow here on Twitter, on the X. And they were showing NBA Rookie of the Year. Like, what are the odds for a player winning Rookie of the Year? Right now, the odds-on favorite, Stephon Castle, he has a 57.9% chance of winning Rookie of the Year, followed by Jalen Wells, who has a 19.4%, Zachary Richarce, that has 8.9%, Zach Edey with the 5% chance of winning Rookie of the Year. I'd have to say right now, Stephon Castle's running away with it, dude.
Yeah, and it was looking kind of dicey this time last week because, the Spurs were playing him, just
sitting him down.
Yeah. And, my thing was this. If he's not going to play a lot of minutes, then just DNP him.
Yeah.
Why mess with his stat lines, his season stat line, which is but people take into consideration, and why have the questions be thrown out there as to why is he not playing? Why is he the 10th man on the team? He's still the 10th man on the team for some unknown reason, but he's coming out there playing 32 minutes, and I accept 32 minutes. When it comes to betting, though, the best odds you're going to get out there is DraftKings at minus 140. But if we were to go through DraftKings minus 140, Jalen Wells plus 275, Khalil Ware at 15-1 odds, Restart Shade 9-1, and Zach Edey at 20-1. You would think that he's running away with it. Just get to 65 games. Stephon Castle, though, one thing I can say about Castle is this. He has IQ off the charts. He's played 58 games. Just needs 7 more games. Off the charts IQ. He knows where to be. He knows how to position his body. His shooting's getting a little bit better. He knows how to crash the boards. He knows how to pick people's pockets. It was seeing him go up against SGA yesterday, and I know SGA won most battles, but Castle didn't back down from it. It's so much fun watching him play, dude. That guy's going to be special in this league. He's going to be special.
You can already see the kid's got all the tools, that he needs to just go out there and be a heck of a player, man. I think the Spurs are going to be just fine once CP3 retires, because you know what? They got Castle there, man. Mm-hmm. Castle is going to be your foreseeable point guard moving forward.
Last 3 games, 22 points, 24 points, 32 points. I mean,
not bad, dude.
9 of 22, 8 of 16, 12 of 21. Guys shooting 50% plus. Last few games, 7 of 23 from 3-point land. I mean, 7 for 23. Go back last 4 games, he's 8 of 25. I mean, that's 32% over the last 4 games. That's not good. It's not bad. It's all right. It's all right, but he's getting some boards, Joe. 8 rebounds last night. He had 7 against the Rockets the other game. He had 7 assists against the Grizzlies in that win. Spurs are showing some heart, man. To beat the Grizzlies on the road and to go toe-to-toe for about 3 quarters with OKC, they're at least showing some heart. Joe, if they're showing some heart, how much credit goes to Mitch Johnson?
None.
Oh,
absolutely none. Absolutely none.
They're showing some heart.
Absolutely none. This is more about the players finally figuring some things out as the season starts coming to an end here.
Yeah.
Starting to close in on them, right? And they're like, you know what? Let's go ahead and play better and have something to build on for next season, because they know damn well this is not going to be a winning season for them. The only thing you can try to do is play better as a team, maybe build a little bit more consistency if you can, even though you don't win.
Yeah.
Try to go out on a high note saying, you know what? We are capable of playing better than we have played all year, because they're doing the soft tank. Let's not mix words. Let's be honest here. They're not doing a hard tank. It's a soft tank, but you got to look for some of the silver lining here. And right now the Spurs in the draft lottery order, I think they're 9th.
9th and 9 and 11.
They're ahead of Chicago. Chicago's still projected at 8. Philly's at 7. You have Brooklyn at 6. Spurs, in order for them to actually win, and I'm reading this from our good friend Paul Garcia, a good friend of the show here. I'll go ahead and show his stats right there. He's saying that the Spurs, they need to go 19-14 the rest of the way to get to 43 wins. Is that going to happen, Mike? No, definitely not.
Let's talk about the NFL. According to ESPN, I always get this guy's name wrong for the Cowboys. Defensive tackle Osa Odazuga. How do you?
I don't even know, bro.
I know I've heard it pronounced 100 times before, but anyway, Jeremy Fowler of ESPN and Dan Graziano of ESPN reporting that the Cowboys are planning to use a franchise tag on Osa if he does not reach a long-term deal by Tuesday's deadline, which is tomorrow. If he is franchise tagged, he will get a paycheck 1 year, $25.1 million. That's pretty cool. It says the Cowboys draft tag Osa. It'd be the 7th time in the last 8 years they've used the franchise tag. They did it on Pollard, Dalton Schultz. They're going to do it on Parsons too, Joe, when Parsons is up next year.
They're going to franchise the shit out of him, dude. Franchise tag the shit out of him. You know what's going to happen? He's going to be pissed. He's going to want to sit out. I want my money. Trade me.
Joe, did you see the Adam Schefter bomb this weekend?
I did.
49ers traded Deebo Samuel to the Washington Commanders for a 5th round pick. So
why?
Meantime, I'm looking at RJ Ochoa from Blogging the Boys, and RJ Ochoa was losing his mind about it. Dude, RJ Ochoa, who is the most diehard Cowboy fan that you will ever find, going off and talking about the fact that the Cowboys traded for Jonathan Mingo, the flop of a wide receiver, that they traded more for Mingo than the Commanders traded for Deebo Samuel.
Jeez,
now, what is this all about? Deebo Samuel has a $20 million or so cap hit next year. Niners didn't want to pay it. Meantime, you see Micah Parsons going, How does the math add up? Micah Parsons doesn't understand how the salary cap works in the NFL. Going, how are all these teams getting richer? How are the Eagles getting better? How are the Commanders getting better?
Yeah.
And why not us?
You know why he doesn't understand that? Because he's too busy running his fucking mouth on his podcast. Why don't you go out there and learn how to play better? Do that.
Dude, he's great, dude.
No.
He's great.
No.
He's great. Micah Parsons is one of the best defenders in the league. You really can't complain about that.
Do better. Quit running your mouth. Do better.
So RJ Ochoa, when he sees Ian Rappaport's message, goes, for a fifth? Washington got a taste of legitimacy and wants to start at once more and is acting smart. Stable franchise. Who would have thought? Goes off to say the Cowboys gave up a fourth rounder for Jonathan Mingo. Well, they got Debo out of it. And then it says the Niners got more for Trey Lance than they got for Debo Samuel.
And where's Trey Lance? Gone. You think he's gonna sniff the NFL turf ever again?
No.
You don't think another team will pick him up just to have him as a third string?
No. So okay, so what you just said right now about Micah Parsons got me thinking, right? Our good friend Carolina Teague, CT.
Yeah.
She was out representing a Las Vegas radio station out there at the Combine in Indianapolis.
Oh yeah, the NFL Combine. I was watching it the other day when I was out there having, I don't know, it was lunch or breakfast or something, but I saw it. I saw them running.
Yeah, she had an interview with Shadur Sanders.
Oh, nice.
So she was in a scrum, right? She fired off 2 questions at Shadur Sanders, and I thought that it was very cool because what she got him to say or talk about was pretty interesting because she asked Shadur Sanders about his rapping and the music that he makes when he's not working.
Okay.
And whether or not this is something that gets him excited about how does he decompress?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for the game.
Right. And asking him, is there going to be any new music coming out? And he looked at her and said, I'm so glad you asked that question.
No one's asked him.
Huh?
No one's asked him.
No one asked him. But Carolina was talking to him about his music, going, hey, tell me about your music. Tell me about what you've got going on with that. And he says, man, he goes, I've only released 1 or 2 songs. But the fact of the matter is that my friends have 20 or so songs that they got from me. And he goes, I don't know. And this is where I got with the Parsons Joe. He goes, I don't know why people bitch and complain about me making music when I'm just doing it for fun. I'm not trying to make albums. I'm not trying to go on tour. He goes, I'm doing this to decompress and just do something artsy with my time. He goes, I could be out at the club. He goes, I could be out at strip clubs. I could be out at bars. I could be out driving like crazy at all hours of the night. He goes, I go home from work and I make music. Why do people give me crap about that, Joe? Which is like the whole Micah Parsons thing. Micah Parsons is out there doing a podcast no different than us. Why are you giving Micah Parsons shit?
Yeah.
Come on, Joe. Why you go after Micah Parsons?
Because he runs his mouth too much, man. Like,
because he runs his mouth about
Quit running
what?
your fucking mouth and go out there and do some reps. Go out in the gym. Why don't you go work out instead of running your mouth? He has a lot to say. I'm like, all right.
He goes out there and does his thing.
Do better.
You don't like the fact that he goes after his own people?
He can go after his own people. I mean, how uncomfortable is that going back into the locker room, calling out your team?
He retweeted Micah Parsons, if you show my screen, he retweeted RJ Ochoa saying Washington picked up almost $22 million on Debo contract this year. This legit doesn't correlate at all. He's basically saying, why is it every other team is getting better and can somehow figure out the math behind it all?
You can't math well, Micah Parsons? Come on, man. You know damn well what Jerry's doing.
Steven and Jerry can't math well.
Nah, Mike Parsons knows damn well what's going on, dude. You know what? You better start going ahead and opening that little jar up there, the tip jar, if you want more money, because Jerry ain't gonna open that wallet anytime soon.
So SR 2001 comes at us and says the Niners hit the reset button quick on positions, and Washington is paying the money left on Debo's contract. That's true. Mario Tony Nala saying, why is he mad? He's like you, man. Because Parsons talk too much, he says. He says talks like he has won championships.
They haven't even won a not even a playoff berth, man. Come on.
So you need to have a Super Bowl win in order to have a podcast. Is that what you need?
He hasn't even won a playoff game, dude. come on. Like, how far have you gone? Can't even get past the wild card. Got embarrassed by Green Bay. Micah Parsons, shut the hell up.
Let's give some love to MCS General Contracting. When we come back in 30 seconds or so, I'm going to try to find that clip of Vernon Maxwell talking about the Spurs.
Okay.
Did you see that?
He's still alive.
Okay, let's talk. I found it. Here. We'll have it in a second. Let's give some love to MCS.
No. MCS General Contracting, more than 30 years of combined experience in concrete placement. They are the best in the business. Honest pricing, high quality work. They get going on house foundations, driveways, concrete patio decks. If you want to extend the deck, extend the driveway. If you're a business and you need to put together a slab, a parking lot, or other concrete placement services or sidewalks, reach out to MCS General Contracting at 210-774-9155. They're confident in their skills, so give Chris Leha over at MCS General Contracting a call at 210-774-9155. And thank you for being a sponsor of this show.
Diamond Hard Concrete, baby. They got the Yetis looking really good. They got the hats. They got the swag as well. Dude, MCS does a fantastic job, man. He and Leha do an amazing job. I'm going to be selling my house this year. They helped put a sidewalk on the side of the house. They did a lot over there. It's going to add value to it, right? So you're not spending money. You're adding value to your home. You're adding value to your business. Give them a call, 210-774-9155.
Home of the Diamond Hard Concrete, man.
That's right, man.
And what is
slabs?
Yeah.
If you need a parking lot, concrete, become ADA compliant, all of that stuff, ramps and all that stuff, basketball courts, pickleball courts, tennis courts, they got it. They do it.
Yeah. What's our saying, Mike? If you want it done right the first time, call MCS.
That's right. So, what if I told you Greg Popovich would hire a spy on players, that he has people spying on the players? Would you believe it?
I don't know if I would believe that, dude.
Vernon Maxwell, former Spur, former Houston Rocket. Vernon Maxwell was on the All the Smoke podcast. Who's that with? That's
What's his name? Steven Jackson.
Steven Jackson, right?
Yeah.
And he tells a story about Greg Popovich hiring people to spy on him. It was great. Let's give a listen. This is All the Smoke podcast, DraftKings Network.
That brother looks
well, how in the hell you motherfuckers get all this goddamn This shit don't make no sense. Y'all got PIs in this motherfucker.
You got informants. Coach Pop told you, no more clubs or I'm going to have to trade you. The next day, Pop calls Max, telling him to pack your shit. I'm trying to find a team to trade you that wants your ass.
But yes, that shit is true.
You the only Spur in the streets like that, though. They,
right.
You know what I'm saying? They weren't used to seeing that.
Well, while I'm in the club, they always have a nigga. He tell me, hey, man, that nigga want to fight you, man. He want to. I said, well, goddamn it, I like to fight. So tell him to lace him up. Well, when I walk out and he walk out behind me, tell him, goddamn, I'm going to get him.
Yeah.
I kept fighting, you know, and then Papa, he tell me, Max, you got to stay out of these goddamn clubs. You almost killed a kid last night. Jeez. I said, yeah, I picked him up and slammed him straight on the shit. All of it. Fell right with him. Bam. And then sat in and shit. So then it was like, you got to stop this shit, nigga. You is fucking fight like you a street nigga. So you got to, hey, man, do not go out no more. If you go out ever again while you're in here, you know, and I'm going to get rid of you. He ain't never say he's going to put a damn PI on me.
Yeah.
So motherfucker put a PI on me and shit. And then
private investigator,
motherfucker called me the next day like what you just said and said that, hey, bring your ass in here early in the morning. He said, bring your ass in. I got the footage. Is this you? I was like, you fucking right.
Who else is
you got that right. It's me. So, hey, go home and pack your shit. By the end of the day, I'm going to have your ass somewhere. I went all scared as shit. I didn't know where the fuck I was going to go. Well, honey.
Can you believe that Popovich hired a private investigator on certain players?
Yeah, I like his style, man.
He's probably not the first, man.
I like his style, Mike.
So are we to believe this, Joe?
I don't know, man. Maybe. Who knows? But either way, man, I like his style, dude. He goes, "You like fighting? Yeah, damn right I do."
Hey, if he's gonna follow me,
is there any truth to?
Okay, we got to show this one also at some point, Joe. But the
Hakeem slap.
the idea that that Pop did that. That Pop said, "Don't go to the club. You go to the club, I'm gonna trade you." And to hire a private investigator to go take photos. Is that allowed? Is that okay?
Guess, man. Is that how they got James Harden at the strip club eating them hot wings?
Sam's saying Maxwell was fighting Edgar's back in the day.
Te guaches.
Jesse A says this sounds like a CYA cover your ass situation. He wanted to trade or release this guy with some cause.
That's the same thing that happened with the what's his name? What was his name? That one guy that I forget his name now, but there was several Spurs players that like to go out and party. Dennis Rodman notoriously was one of them.
Jack Haley was a spy, right? Jack Haley would go in there to make sure that he's going to be okay.
Antonio Daniels liked to go out and party.
Yeah, I would see Antonio back in the day, man.
Yeah, I mean, there were Spurs players that you'd see at the clubs, and they'd like to get out and enjoy themselves as well.
Midtown saying Case had paid Mike to follow and drive Greg Simmons around. Hey, by the way, pour one out, Joe. A grito.
Oh,
for instant replay.
Oh, man, I saw that, dude. Last episode last night.
I was a former producer of Instant Replay. 32 years, I believe, is what it was.
32-year run started by Greg Simmons back in the day. I was still in high school when that thing came out, bro.
Okay, you know what we're going to do? Let's end the show with that real fast. But I want to go to one more clip of Vernon Maxwell on the All the Smoke podcast, right?
Yeah.
Asking the question, because he talked about being a good fighter, right? The one time he got his ass kicked. Here it is.
Is there any truth to Hakeem slapping the shit out of you at halftime one time?
What
happened?
Shit.
He said there's a lot of truth to it.
Motherfucker, a lot of truth to that shit. That motherfucker like he scraped his hands on the ground and shit. Motherfucker, oh my goodness. Man hit me so goddamn hard. Where's in Seattle? Goddamn, I'm having a bad first half. So I'm mad. When I get mad, I should spit. I'm walking, I'm spitting. And the niggas, Sam sitting up and Robert beside me. Man, it's gonna be all right, Max. Come on, man, you're gonna be okay. Man, fuck this shit. Man, these niggas ain't giving me the ball. This nigga won't pass the ball, man. Fuck this shit. So Dream behind me, and Dream like, Maxie, what the fuck is you doing? That shit's not professional. Don't do that shit. Stop that shit. I was like, Dream, man, fuck that shit, man. I'm tired of you too. And why would I say that shit there? I shouldn't have said that. Because he came in and put his goddamn hands up, big old hands on me.
In the locker room?
Oh, man, he slapped the shit out of me on the side.
Coming from the back?
Oh, man, way from the back. He slapped the shit out of me so hard. I mean, I thought a motherfucker punched me. He slapped the shit out of me. Man, them big ass hands. Shit, that man slapped the shit out of me, man. Then it killed me.
But hey, but knowing you had to do what'd you do?
Well,
You tried to get yourself together.
He's like, well, I'm glad you asked.
well, I got, I went crazy in that motherfucker. Everybody was running and scrambling.
Yeah.
I tell you that. There's a lot of motherfuckers scrambling in that motherfucker when I got there doing I was doing. So I went crazy in that song.
It's only one thing after a big nigga like that slapped you.
You got.
I'm going to get that too.
Well, you better know it.
Oh, dude, the whole Vernon Maxwell interview that he had was amazing. He was talking about dirty players in the NBA. He named John Stockton.
Jeez.
He goes, dude, the whole Vernon Maxwell, John Stockton, making fun of Karl Malone was amazing, dude. Was amazing. So funny.
Look at Mike's spite on AD for the organization.
Dude, he was talking about Karl Malone showing up in an 18-wheeler. He goes, I'm playing ball against him.
Man, there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes back in the day. Can you only imagine like stories that would come out, like if they came out now with some of these ex-Spurs players talking about what happened, during that championship era? Like how was Coach Pop talking to these players?
Yeah. Beyond all that, man, I mean, look at the Cowboys. the stories that you have of the Cowboys in the mid 90s.
Man, can you imagine? They're probably doing cocaine and shit in the locker room, at halftime, not giving a damn. Especially Michael Irvin, bro.
Well, didn't they have that one, the White House or whatever they call that before? But we were talking about how KSAT. So let's show this. This is courtesy of KSAT real fast. This is the end of Instant Replay. It signed off after 32 years. Really wasn't the same after
introducing.
Really wasn't the same after Greg Simmons got let go. Let me turn this off real fast. I have the
So join us next 30 minutes you don't want to miss as we're ready to bring you
Instant Replay.
And welcome to another edition of Instant Replay.
Welcome
live to KSAT.
Just hit the mute
brand new
button, man.
edition of Instant
On
Replay.
The video itself, on the video.
There you go. 1,668 episodes, Joe. I used to produce this show from the years 1996 and 1997. I worked a lot with David Sears right there. It was Greg Simmons, David Sears, was Cordell Patrick back in the day. Mario Orellana, who's now the news director over there, was also one of the producers. Did a fantastic job. This was fun times, man. This was before the internet had really taken hold, man. This was before, 24-hour sports and whatnot. You would go to you would go to Instant Replay. You'd watch all the highlights of the NFL games. You'd watch all the highlights of the Spurs, and you'd have Spurs interviews and whatnot. But 32 years was fun, man. It did a fantastic job. I'm part of the alumni when it comes to all that. I got to do the Olympics in 1996 at Atlanta and go cover it for Instant Replay. It was good times, man. But I'll tell you my favorite Simmons story. My favorite Simmons story was he was flying back from Dallas after a Cowboys game, and I produced the show for David Sears.
Yeah.
And David Sears was going to just do the show, and that'd be it, right? But Greg was always telling me, hey, we're trying to get back on time to do the show, but get back on time. His plane was late, all that stuff. So anyway, the music is starting for the show to start, and David is waiting for the cue. The music starts. It's like brought to you by whatever.
Yeah.
Simmons runs into the studio with his suitcases into the control room, and he opens the door. He tells Sears, get out of the way. I'm doing the show. And then he takes the cue, runs into the studio, literally carrying 2 suitcases, drops them down. He goes, I just got back from Dallas, and I got the highlights of tonight's game. And then he went off. He did an entire 30-minute show, Joe, with no scripts. All he had was the prompter. Had no idea what was coming on. Had no idea what story was coming on next. Had no idea what was being read. Did not rehearse. And he did a flawless show. It was amazing.
That's kind of what we do here.
Yeah.
You just freestyle this bitch.
Yeah, but no, it was amazing, dude. Instant Replay did a fantastic job, man. Larry Ramirez right there. 32 years. Are we going to pour one out?
Pour one out, dude. We'll go ahead and give him the grito.
Presumir a mis amigos les conté que en el amor.
For Greg Simmons and all those fellas over there, Cordell Patrick and all those guys.
Now we have to go ahead and watch.
Alex is saying no, sad. No more Instant Replay. No more Mia Montgomery on case. I told Mia Montgomery, the popular meteorologist, has stepped down. Going to be taking another job, getting out of the industry.
Yeah. So how about that, man? The thing is too, now we're going to have to go and watch the other sports shows that come out. Like I think it's on Channel 4 now in the evening.
Channel 4 has one. I think Maximum Sports still had one.
They have one on
KBB.
Sundays. Yeah, Sunday evenings. So you have Maximum Sports, and then you have the other one on Channel 4.
It's difficult for people to really care about local sports, man. It is because, like, you have. Here's what's going on in San Antonio that no one's really talking too much about. We have the number 2 guard in all of the college basketball recruits.
Yeah.
Playing for Brennan High School, who I believe made the state semis. I think they play tomorrow. He should be getting more pub than what he is getting right now. You have him going potentially a future NBA player could go to the University of Houston. You have that. You have San Antonio FC. You've got the Brahmas and all that stuff. But that's really diehard. Like, what station really needs to carry that? Because there's no dominant sports station. Because back in the day, Joe, it was about KSAT. KSAT was the sports station. All due respect to Don and all due respect to Joe. And they do a fantastic job. And I love both of those guys. KSAT back in the 90s was the place to go. Who is the one right now? Who is the most popular sportscaster right now in San Antonio? Is it Don Harris?
I don't think so, man.
I can't think of anybody else other than him.
Larry Ramirez, KSAT 12.
Okay.
Chuck Mikatinic.
Mikatinic, right?
He's iconic. You know, he's the OG.
Like, I look at these guys, I'm thinking to myself, who would I want to have a beer with and watch a game with?
Chuck Mikatinic.
Chuck.
I like Chuck, man.
Yeah.
Chuck's good people. Hey, you know what? Speaking of, one of the things that I mean, we don't talk about it much here, but I think I'm going to show it here. Heel turn, biggest heel turn, man, which I've been a fan of, has to do with wrestling, man. I was glad to see this, dude. John Cena turned heel finally. This is a big deal in the wrestling community. Oh! Look at everybody's reaction in the crowd, dude. This is great. Great stuff, man. Great stuff. You got to see John Cena finally turn heel here, man. And it's, you know, wrestling fans probably were like, oh my God, I can't believe what's happening. I was like, it's about damn time he turns heel, man. This is it for him. This is his last hurrah.
Yeah.
Might as well go out as the villain. John
Cena, man. I liked him at the end of Daddy's Home. Oh, wait, did I do a reveal? That movie's 10 years old. Who cares?
Yeah.
Let's show some love to me, Joe.
Yeah, let's do it.
210-508-0369. That's my number right there. 210-508-0369. You need help with retirement accounts, IRAs, 401ks, things like that. Reach out to me. 210-508-0369. People are worried right now about the tariffs that are being proposed out there. Are they going to take effect or not? What is that going to do to international stocks? What is that going to do to things domestically? What if it doesn't happen? Some people are very optimistic. Some people are very pessimistic right now about what's going on in the investment world. Give me a call. We can talk about it. 210-508-0369. Again, it's not about having a crystal ball. It's about doing what's right and doing long-term planning, long-term investments.
Yeah.
Right now, the S&P and the Dow Jones are both down today. Stock market's down 3% last month.
Yeah, I got sticker shock the other day. Just this Sunday, man. Went to the HEB with the kids to go get some groceries.
Yeah.
And looking at those prices of eggs, man. I mean, it wasn't that long ago that we weren't paying more than what, maybe $3-4.
Well, the tacos are going up in price too because they're made with eggs, man.
$10 a dozen, bro. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Ridiculous, dude.
Chica is very much of the opinion of I'll just make more money. You know, she and I have the same kind of mentality where it's just like if prices are going up, instead of bitching about it, I'm just gonna go make more money.
Yeah. Well, you can also buy your own chickens.
People are doing that in my neighborhood right now, man. You know, it's so funny. I'm going through a move right now, and I'm going to be selling my house, and I hope that my divorce is going to be finalized in a couple of weeks or so. Yeah. That's the hope, right? But it's so sad, and to like go through stuff and realize you think that we have a lot of stuff, but really we just have a bunch of crap. Like I started pulling things out of what I want to take to the new house and whatnot. I was like, I don't want any of this stuff. It's crazy. I mean, it's like we live there and you don't realize that all you have in your house is a bunch of shit. You know? It's just a bunch of crap. I kept on looking at it like I was packing. And at some point, Joe was like, you know what? I don't want any of this. I don't want any of these clothes. I don't want any of these utensils. I was going through today packing up glasses.
Yeah.
Like this morning, I got up really early. And I was like, do you know what I took? My MCS General Contracting Yeti.
That's it.
I took that and like a couple of Bucky's, what's it called? Tumblers. And I was like, everything else, every knife that I have, every plate that I have, every bowl that I have, gone. Went through my closet. I kept every half marathon t-shirt that I had.
Yeah.
Because that means something to me because I finished a half marathon. Everything else that I had from a year before,
Gone.
gone.
Yeah, it's getting rid of all the old, gonna get something new, you know?
Mhm.
It's good for you, man.
So Charlie Hernandez asking the question, you moving to H-Town. So here's the thing that's going on in my world, right? So I'll be doing the show from Conroe more often than not. So I'll be here doing the show every once in a while, but I'll be doing the show in Conroe. So the show's not going away. I mean, the show is a big part of our lives, Joe. We have sponsors, we have things like that. Chica and I are looking to buy a land or a house someplace, somewhere. And we're looking everywhere from Bernie to Bulverde. We're looking at Castroville. We're looking at Gonzales. We're looking at China Grove. We're looking at anywhere outside of San Antonio, Joe. We don't want to be in the city limits anymore. We want to be somewhere
live on
outside.
the outskirts, man.
We're looking at Seguin, looking at
Luling.
Gonzales.
I might be your neighbor. You go to Luling.
There you go. So that's what we're looking at doing. But so we're kind of in a transitional period right now because her kids graduate from college in December.
Yeah.
I have a kid that's going to high school in a year. So I want to be close to my kid, but at the same time, I got to kind of juggle all that. My business is here in San Antonio. So it's one of those things where it's not like I'm moving someplace and we'll never have a presence in San Antonio. It's whenever I'm in San Antonio, I need to have a deliberate reason to be here. I need to go see my parents. I need to go see my kids. I need to go do whatever. So right now is a transitional year. And if I stay over there in Conroe or Montgomery or whatever, great. But the answer to the question is, I don't know. It's a transitional year for her. It's a transitional year for me.
Yeah, see what happens.
We got a 1-year rental. Her kids are going through college. They need her for the next year. My kid needs me. We're going to try to figure it all out.
Yeah, you'll probably have a presence here still, but who knows where, you know? Got to figure that
Jason
out.
Garcia saying Floresville. We actually talked about Floresville. And that's the thing, Joe, is that, you know, I was looking at land right now because we want to get an acre, right? We want to get an acre of land to say that we have some land and build on top of it or buy a house that has an acre, right? Got to change the intro. Is that what it said?
No, Mike is buying a ranch. He has the chaps ready.
Oh.
Oh, man. You're going to be, was it like Yellowstone? You're trying to be like Yellowstone?
Yeah.
Oh. Mike is moving in with the girl. I hope you can cook and clean, bro.
Dude, Chica is, man, super clean, dude.
Yeah.
We go to the house over there, Joe. Hey, one speck of dust in that house. Not one place thing out of place.
Mike's Ranch, the Ranch of America. You know you just gave them gold here, dude. They're gonna meme the shit out of you again.
Yeah.
Jeff's probably gonna say cooked.
I don't know, Joe.
You living rent free, brother. Rent free.
Yeah. People are saying get your own place, community property, all that stuff. Dude, I'm too old for that crap, dude. You know, if things go wrong, guess what? I'll just go make some more money.
Buy land. Hey, man, Seguin is not bad, dude. I've been over there to Seguin.
See, Seguin's fine because you have the Guadalupe River there.
It's near San Marcos.
So like people are saying Floresville, right? Floresville, you can get some big pieces of land for cheap. The problem is that there's no view.
Hey, man, you want to get some property cheap? They have some over here in Texas.
I know. I don't
near
want
the desert.
I don't want
the desert.
I don't want cheap property, Joe. I'll give you an example. I was looking at land in the hill country, like Bulverde.
Yeah, it's prime real estate, brother.
Right. Well, why is it prime real estate? It's because it's
view.
pretty,
beautiful view.
It's the view.
Yeah.
So it's like, do you want to have 2 or 3 acres and see a freaking tumbleweed go by, or would you have a smaller piece of property that is scenic?
Yeah. The thing is, when you're getting property, you want some things, right? If you're gonna not live off grid, you're gonna want to have the connections, right? Sewer, water. You're going to want to have access to electric, right? The electrical grid. If you're going to live off grid, what's the one thing you have to live?
Septic
you got to
tank.
have water, brother.
Yeah.
If you ain't got no water, your land is worthless.
Tony and I'll say Mike's Ranch will be called Lululemon Ranch. Who says that I'm going to have, Pipe Creek is, Sam's saying Pipe Creek. I've been looking at that as well. Chica has clients that live in Bernie and that live in Bandera. Say market is too expensive right now. Market's too expensive if you're financing. If you're buying with cash or a good down payment, you'll be fine. People People are saying that I'm gonna kick out the Mexicans.
You can call ICE.
Who said notice I said nowhere in South Texas?
Somebody put up here.
Jesse A.
Jesse A.
Notice how Mike didn't say anywhere in South Texas because it's ghetto.
No, remember I told Francesca, I said he doesn't gonna be over there in like Laredo in the valley. She's like, what? I was telling her you're making fun of the valley.
Well, because like she hates Houston and I hate Houston.
Oh.
She hates San Antonio. I just don't like the traffic around here, Joe. That's the thing. That's why we want to be out in the middle of nowhere, dude. I mean, we're not trying to be like the Unabomber or anything like that.
Oh, look at this. Mike's gonna have Mexicans tending to the ranch. Si no trabajas bien, I'm gonna call ICE.
Don't think they won't come.
Like Mike, bro.
Don't think they won't be here.
Hey, man, you can get some really nice houses out there in the valley area, dude. Some really nice houses, cheap, man.
Mm-hmm. So I'm looking at Chica. When is she gonna pick me up from over here? Because she has the ride right now. And do you follow people like on like where they are, like that you follow their location?
No, I don't like that. I don't like people knowing where I'm at, dude, or what I'm doing. You know, it's like, you got my phone. You could text me. Why are you going to track me for?
Dude, I have friends who track me.
Oh, I know. I've heard, bro. I've heard.
There's a rumor, by the way, that you and I are going to have a show on location in 2 weeks.
Yeah, over at Sean Quintero's.
At PF Chang's
Yeah.
at La Cantera. Where it was looking like it was going to be a March Madness thing, but now we're looking at it possibly being a St. Patrick's Day thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
March 17th.
St. Patty's, PF Chang's.
So we'll iron that out this week and let you guys know.
Mike Cochino Stalker. Mike is going to hire Edgar's for his ranch to maintain the ranch. Tecuache Ranch. We should get that picture that we have of you in front of Ingram Park Mall and put that up there on the arch for your wall going into your ranch. Tecuache Mike.
I don't want a ranch, dude. I just want a little bit of land. What's wrong with it? I'm getting of that age, Joe.
If you get a ranch, though, you're going to have a brand. What's going to be your brand?
My brand?
Your brand. You know, like Yellowstone has a brand. Anytime you have a ranch, you have a brand.
Yeah.
What would be your brand?
It's got some sort of Spurs logo associated with it.
Lululemon or something.
Tony's saying call it Marbach Nice Ranch. After the show, Joe, I'm going to what's it called? Gonna meet somebody over at Dave and Buster's because I saw something on Facebook Marketplace that Francesco saw as well. It's a Spurs neon sign that flashes different lights.
Nice.
So I'm gonna go get that. We need to get in touch with Tex-Mex Frank because I need more Spurs stuff for my office.
Spurs stuff. You know who you can get in contact with? I've been meaning to get in contact with them. Cuts by Jones.
Cuts by
man.
Jones.
That brother
That's
does the good stuff,
too.
man. That's the guy, man. He get anything you want done. He's a craftsman, man. He does great work.
Joe Gonzalez saying Demon Ranch.
Wet Dog Ranch. Edgar Mike. Dogs are animals.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna have to rehome those dogs, man. I'm gonna try to get my friends and family to take care of my dogs, man, because doing too much traveling, dude.
You're gonna take them out to the ranch, leave them outside?
No, man. You know, I feel bad for the husky.
Yeah.
I feel bad for the husky because the husky needs to have a lot more attention that I give him now.
Yeah,
because I've been all over the place. I travel a lot now, so there's a rescue for only huskies that I'm looking at sending him to.
He's huge now. You can put a saddle on him, dude.
You can. I was hoping, and Alex Noriega, if you're listening, I was hoping Alex would take Duncan.
Duncan's big.
Duncan's a sweetheart.
What did Francesca say? The wolf. She calls him the wolf.
Wolfie. Sam's saying I call it Coconut Fields Ranch.
Yeah.
I mean, I just want an acre, Joe. I want half an acre. Well, no, I want a full acre. And the choice between getting 1 acre really, really nice or 3 acres that are really, really kind of desertish, I'll take the nice one.
They said brand should be SJ for Skip Jimenez.
Mm-hmm.
$60 for Duncan. Man, I saw the saddest thing the other day, dude. We're at the HEB right here on Marbach, right, on Sunday.
Yeah.
I was there with the kids doing some grocery shopping. And as we're leaving, my daughter's like, Dad, look at that. I'm like, what's going on? She's like, there was a couple there, right? 3 people there, a guy with his girl, and I guess their friend or whatever. And they had this boxer, right? Looked really nice, beautiful dog. A big old sign, free dog. I'm like, why is this motherfucker free? What is he doing? But look, it looks like a sweet dog, but
Yeah.
I felt bad. Like my daughter's like, Dad, can we get him? I'm like, hell no, I ain't got room for a dog in the yard. I'm trying to get rid of this house, sell
Yeah.
it, and move on, but what am I do with the dog when you all leave? Because my daughter's gonna be leaving, son's gonna be leaving, the youngest one gonna be going off to college here in another year, probably going to Texas Tech. I'm gonna be by myself. What am I gonna do? I
Yeah.
was like, I wouldn't be taking care of a dog.
It's funny because talk about Duncan.
Yeah.
Duncan's actually very well behaved around people. He hates other animals. That's the thing, is that he does not like hanging around other dogs, but around people, he's a sweetheart. Absolute sweetheart.
Duncan's big though, man. Like people get intimidated by him, but he's so big.
He's so big.
Yeah,
but he's a big cat.
Yeah, man.
I mean, he looks big. He walks through the house like all like he owns the place.
Yeah.
But then you call him up and he'll just cuddle with you. He likes to get in bed with you. He likes a curl.
Yeah, wants to be like a lap dog.
Yeah, but he's a big old dog, and he doesn't listen for anything because huskies don't listen.
Yeah,
they don't. Cody, a little bit rambunctious.
Yeah, he's a golden retriever, Cody.
Yeah. It's a tonto though, man.
You're gonna have to do something with these animals.
It's a dumbass of a dog, dude.
I like you're saying though. I'm gonna leave them outside. It's raining. It's okay. They're in the porch. Why?
They're animals.
I'm like, damn.
Dude, I gotta get going, man. Gotta start my work week. My daughter is being inducted into National Junior Honor Society tonight, so I gotta get ready for that. I gotta do some packing today. But the show will continue, Joe.
Yeah,
the show will continue. Nothing wrong with that. It'll just be sometimes here, sometimes there. It just is what it is, and then we'll figure out where the new home will be at the end of the year. So
no, they said don't forget to rehome the lizard that almost made you fall. Sucker was huge.
Yeah, I showed that to my girlfriend, and she was so disappointed in me. She goes, "A lizard? Look, the sucker's huge.
It's big.
It came back the other day. It was all."
What'd he do? So.
All right, brother, man. I'll talk to you later. Everyone have a fantastic day. We'll be back tomorrow.